Hello, welcome to this session of Talking Tech, Women and Girls in ICT. My name is Yirong Wang, and today I'm delighted to have a conversation about tech and tech careers with Ursula Engler Larson, the team leader Advanced Analytics of IGT. Talking Tech is a series celebrating girls and women in tech. It is being recorded around the world between Girls in ICT Day 2020 and Girls in ICT Day 2022. Girls in ICT Day is an international day marked on the fourth Thursday of each April. The objective is to help create a global environment that encourages young women to consider studies and careers in the field of ICT, which is the information and communication technologies. The Talking Tech series is brought to you by the ITU, UNICC, and the Office of the UN Secretary General's Envoy on Youth, and it is in support of Equals, the global partnership of gender equality in the digital age. So hi, Ursula. It is a pleasure to have you here today. To start things off, would you mind to introduce yourself a little bit to our audience and talk about what your current job is about?
Hi, Yirong. So nice to be with you. Thank you for having me. My current job is I'm a leader of advanced analytics team at LGT. It's a private bank headquartered in Liechtenstein. And we get to build products using AI and advanced analytics and for our customers and also internally. And I get to try out new technology every day.
Nice. As you can see, we have a very accomplished person with us today, which leads to my curiosity about when and how did you get into technology? What was your journey like?
So I got interested in technology in my teenage years when my father bought his first PC for his office in the early 1990s. So it's a while ago. So first, we used it as a word processor, and then we built a database, and I played some early computer games. And what fascinated me, though, is what I could build with it, what the possibilities were. And so I went to college and studied computer science. This was at a time when the internet was just getting started and the first internet browser came out.
What was your path from then to now, since you mentioned you start to get interested in the technology field a while ago? So what was your experience in all those years in technology?
So after I got my bachelor's, I went to graduate school and got a master's in international economics because I wanted to combine technology and business. And my first job after school was at a startup that developed a financial risk management system. And so here in a startup, I took on a lot of hats and learned a lot. Then my next job was in a large bank, and that's where I was introduced to large-scale data analytics. This was still back in 2000, but at that time, the bank already had a large data warehouse. After that, I did risk management consulting for a pension fund, and I also tried to launch a renewable energy startup. That didn't quite work out so well, so I went back to work in asset management, first as a business analyst, and later on in data science, and that's where I've been ever since.
Oh, that's really nice. It looks like you touch up on a lot of fields. So what do you like best about your current jobs, or like just the technology field in general?
Yeah, about my job, what I like the best is that I have a new question to answer every day. So it's very creative and I'm always learning something. And like I said, we also get to try out cutting edge technology. And what I like about technology is that I believe it can make a significant impact on improving people's lives. When you just think about some of the innovations over the last couple of years, we have video chat to keep us connected with people all over the world. We have e-commerce for trade. We have e-learning platforms where you can take classes from the best professors in the world. And like in AI, for example, we now have systems that can diagnose patients and read x-rays as good as humans. And that's just a few of the new technology. On the other hand, we have to be careful, in my opinion, that technology could also be used for other purposes, not so good. And so I think it's important to have a lot of women joining the tech field to help balance that out and make sure that, we stay on the good side of technology.
Yeah, I definitely agree. It's very important to give like different perspective in technology. And I also agree that technology has been inventing rapidly these years. It's like there's something new coming out every day. So this is also why that I'm interested in technology, because I think it keeps you learning. It
Yes.
pushes you to learn new things. Yeah. Okay. So have you encountered any challenges along the way? And if so, how did you overcome them?
Yeah, sometimes things don't go how you imagined it. So your idea might not work, your project might fail, you might not get funding, and so on. So what I learned is that it's important not to get bogged down when that happens. So, learn from your experience or pivot, but move on. It's important
Yeah.
to keep moving, I think, and not stand still. And
Mhm.
also, I think it's important to take risks and don't be afraid to fail.
Yes, I completely agree. I've been learning a lot during this college years because I think college is just a lot harder than high school. And there's also like the other part-time jobs that you have to do. It's really important to like balance the time and make plans ahead.
Mhm.
So can you share an example or two of the things that you have done in Oris Tech that you're particularly proud of?
Yeah, so I had just taken Andrew Ng's machine learning course online, and that was when the
Oh.
deep learning just started to take off at that time. And so I was working on a project to apply neural networks to text to build an email classification system. And when I started the project, I had no idea if it was going to work. But I took Python libraries, I did enough Googling, and I had a lot of passion. And so I was able to get some decent results.
Oh, that's really nice. Yeah, like what we were talking about. You're still learning. You're still taking courses online. This is so amazing. And since this series is about girls in technology, have you experienced anything like as a woman in the technology field?
I think it's like in general, sometimes you kind of stick out because there are not many women in technology now, but I think you just keep going. If you have a passion, if you have a good idea, just go for it. Don't listen to the naysayers or any of the doubters. You will encounter them as well, but don't listen to them. Just go for it and find other women that can support you, and they're definitely there.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. I think it was especially harder in the older days, maybe like during your time, there was like a lot less women in the field. And now I think we have improved a lot since then.
Mhm.
Now I have like, there's many more girls, still not majority, I'll say, but like I see a lot of girls in my computer science major. And I think it's like the successful woman like you that inspired us to come into this field. So yeah, we really thank you for, for your effort. Um, so now I guess we can talk about some of the advice you will give to maybe your younger self or just young women in this field.
Yeah, I was thinking, when I was in graduate school and I was about to graduate, I had this vision in my head that I was going to have this linear career path and it was just going to go like a linear line. And that turned out not to be true. Instead, as I told you, my career kind of goes up and down. And I think that's actually the experience probably of a lot of people. So my advice would be, stay flexible, keep an open mind, look up for opportunities and never stop learning.
Mm,
And as I also said, another piece of advice is, if you have a great idea and you're really passionate about it, just go for it. I think, life is short and let's, try it out and don't listen to the doubters and the naysayers.
mm,
And maybe my third piece of advice would be, for women, once you decide to have children, try to stay connected to the job market. You don't have to work full time. There could be part-time jobs, job sharing, or consulting options.
mm,
But it will make it easier to get back into the job market later on.
I see. I think I believe you have a 9-year-old daughter. So
Yes.
yeah, speaking from experience, I see.
And I have a really supportive husband, so it helps.
That's really nice. Okay. So was there something that you're curious about me that you would like to ask?
Yes, yes. I would love to learn a little bit more about you and how did you get into technology?
So actually, I didn't start thinking about technology until like sophomore year in my high school. Like I always wanted to be an artist, but then I went to Brooklyn Tech High School, and then computer science was a required course in sophomore year, so I took it and it was really interesting. I remember we get to make like holiday cards like with some animation and like some games, and then since then I just realized, oh my god, computer science is so fun. And then I went into the struggle because I wanted to choose between like art and computer science, so I was conflicted. But then, like, as I learn more in computer science, I realized that you actually don't have to choose. You can do both art and computer science at the same time. So this is like the path I'm leading towards right now, because like I took media class in my high school as my major for my senior year and junior year, and in college right now I'm in computer science major. I might do a minor in art, but I haven't decided on the specific field I want to go for, because like the field that combines technology and art together, like there's a lot of fields that do that, like animation, special effects in the film industry, UX, UI, and etc. So I'm still figuring figuring everything out, but yeah, I'm on my way.
That's great. Excellent. Oh, that's great. I think, yes, definitely you made the right choice. You don't have to choose. You pick,
Mhm.
you can combine them. And
Mhm.
so what is fascinating you most about it? About, you said computer sciences.
I think like I think something I really like is creativity, and this is like both in the art field and technology field. I think it's like what we talked about before. It always inspires you to think more, to work your brain. I think I think what people should always like keep learning in life. You
Yeah.
should never stop learning. I think both computer and art really makes you to think outside of the box, to figure something out. Like for example, like to like shorten the code to make it more concise. Sometimes you have to like think outside of the box.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah. So yeah, this is why I really like the creativity field in general.
You mentioned in one of your classes you were making greeting cards. Do you have
Mm,
any other projects you want to share that you are particularly proud of?
mm. Actually, I'm right now. I've been working on like a game project using RPG XP Maker, which uses Ruby as a coding language. We've been on this project for like 2 years now. We're still trying to make the game, but yeah, we're doing everything from scratch. Like we have to create the maps ourselves. We have to like create the characters design, and then we have to code like the stories. We also have like a script writing team, but like I think it's really fun to like making everything from scratch, because you see like how every part just work together and to create the final product. Yeah.
That's really cool. Wow.
Mhm.
You'll have to let me know when my daughter can try it out.
Of course, of course. Thank you. um since you talked about artificial intelligence, AI, I'm also really interested in the AI field. So like what do you think the future of AI is going to be like? Because I think AI is going to be like a huge part of the future. So yeah, what are your
Yeah, I think I look at it right now. I think we are at the same space in AI as we were with the internet in like when I was in 1990 when I was in college. It's just we're just starting. When I was in college, we didn't have e-commerce yet. We just had a browser, and now people were starting to think, what can we do with this? And so I think in AI, yes, we do have already some systems and we are starting to have humanoid robots, but I think the biggest phase is still ahead of us. I mean, when you think about our AI, it's still very narrow. It can do narrow tasks, but it cannot solve a big problem like a human can. So I think there is a lot of work that is coming, and then we'll also find entire new areas where AI will start creating new fields or
yeah.
new things. So that's why I'm super excited about it. And, we're talking about space, and there we need AI, we need robots to go explore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's really nice. It's interesting that you mentioned that we are just starting, because usually when people think about AI, like I think we use AI in a lot parts of the world already. So yeah, I really look forward to the future.
And I was wondering, what are your next plans? So,
like what I said, I'm still trying to figure out between like balance between art and technology. But like, I'm also interested in a lot of other fields such as AI, like we just talked about, and like also robotics. I remember I had like a robotics club that like we built the robot and we have to program it to like make it move. I remember I went to a competition and we have to make the robot recognize like, oh, there's a box in front of me, so I can't go there. So I think that was also really fun. I think in the future I'll continue to explore, maybe explore it by going to more internships and like talk to people in the field to see like how it's like, and maybe finally figure out my concentration. I don't know. I think there's just too many fields in this world that it's just everything's so interesting to me.
That's good. That's good though.
So I think my message for the younger girls would be try to like when you're using technology, when you're like playing games, when you're like playing like using your phone, like maybe try to think about like the technology used like behind it, like be curious, stay curious. I think this is my message. Stay curious about things around you. Maybe like think about like how they works, and maybe the things that you're interested in could become your job if you continue to stay curious and like try to figure out like how to make this thing. Because like sometimes when you focus on playing games, you don't really think about like the efforts they put in to like making the game. So like you don't really think about like making the game yourself. But like once you start it, it's really interesting since you enjoy playing games and you're making games yourself. How fun is that? This is like what I really want to do. Just like maybe make a whole product myself.
Yeah, exactly. And I think, these days also we have all these platforms that are easy to get something started. You go on the cloud and use one of those services, and quickly you can actually have something going and show it to people.
Yeah,
I think your point to saying stay curious, I think that's also it's a good message in the sense that, I look at my kids and they're always curious about the world. And I think sometimes as adults, we lose that, but we should keep it. We should be sometimes like little children and explore the world again and see it with open eyes. And
yeah, I definitely agree. I think as I grow up, I realized that I'm like starting to lose the curiosity because I'm like there's work to do every day. There's like I'm going somewhere like all the time, and sometimes I just like forget to like ask questions even if I'm curious. Like sometimes like if I hear an interesting topic, I'm just like, do I want to have a 30-minute conversation or do I want to work on my homework that is due like tomorrow? So yeah, I think stay curious like is really important, and it also keeps your life interesting. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. And don't be afraid to ask questions. I always ask questions, even if they sound, maybe they're stupid questions. There is no such thing as a stupid question.
Yeah, I agree. I think a lot of people, including me, like I was shy about asking questions because I was afraid that people think I'm stupid. But I think in reality, like nice people, like who actually want to help you will help you. And the people who think you're stupid, it's their problem. It's not your problem. Because everyone has a learning curve. Everyone learns from knowing nothing. So yeah. So I think to wrap up our session for Talking Tech, Women and Girls in ICT, I want to thank Ursula to be here today. I'm very delighted to have this conversation with you, and we're very happy to have you here. And yeah, I just want to thank all the viewers for watching. Bye.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.